I'm Liam.
I'm Chloe. Welcome to Daily Cup English.
Hey! Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are and whatever time it is right now. Welcome back to Daily Cup English, the podcast where we talk, laugh, argue a little bit, and hopefully help you improve your English every single day. I'm Liam.
And I'm Chloe. Oh my gosh, Liam, I just spilled my coffee literally 2 minutes before we started recording. Like, classic me.
Wait, seriously? And you call this show Daily Cup? You can't even hold your cup.
I know, the irony is real. But hey, I have a fresh cup now and I am ready to go. So if you're listening to us for the first time, welcome. We are so happy you're here. This podcast comes out every single day. So if you want to improve your English while listening to real, natural conversations, you are in the right place. Yes. And if you're a returning listener, you already know we love you. Seriously, thank you for coming back.
Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Follow us on whatever platform you're using right now. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you found us. Just follow so you never miss an episode.
And tell a friend. Tell 2 friends. Tell your whole English class.
Okay, so Liam, what are we talking about today?
Okay, so today's topic is one that I personally love and also one that I have struggled with. We're talking about the power of 1% better every day. The idea that you don't have to make huge changes to transform your life. You just have to get a tiny bit better every single day.
Oh, yes, this is such a good one. And I feel like a lot of people have heard of this idea, but maybe don't really understand what it means in real life, right?
Exactly. So let's dig in. This is going to be a good one.
Okay, so Liam, let's start from the beginning. Like, if someone has never heard this concept before, how would you explain it?
Right. So the idea actually became really popular from a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And the main idea is this. If you get just 1% better at something every single day, by the end of 1 year, you will be 37 times better than when you started. 37 times. That's the math.
Which sounds kind of crazy, right? Like 1% feels so small. If I do 10 push-ups today and tomorrow I do 10.1 push-ups, that doesn't feel life-changing.
10.1 push-ups. But that's exactly the point. It's not about the single day. It's about what happens when you stack all those days together. It's like compound interest. $1 doesn't feel like much, but if that dollar grows a little bit every day for years and years, suddenly you have a lot of money.
Okay, I like that comparison. So it's really about the long game. Not what happens today, but what happens after 30, 60, 90 days of small effort.
Exactly. And I think the reason people struggle with this concept is because our brains are not wired for slow progress. We want results fast. We want to lose 10 kilos in 2 weeks. We want to be fluent in English in 1 month. We want the big transformation immediately.
Oh, totally. And social media makes it so much worse, right? You see someone post a before and after photo, and it looks like they changed overnight. But you don't see the 300 days of boring, small effort that happened in between.
Yes, that invisible work. That's the 1%. Nobody posts about it. Nobody claps for it. But that's where the real change happens.
Okay, but wait, I do want to push back a little here. Because, is 1% always realistic?
What if someone is in a really hard situation and they actually need a big change fast?
That's a fair point, and we're definitely going to get into that debate a little later. But I think for most people, in most situations, especially for personal growth, habits, skills, 1% is not just realistic. It's actually the most sustainable path.
Sustainable. That's the key word, right? Because I've tried the go big or go home approach, and I mostly just went home.
Same, honestly, same.
Okay, so let's get personal, because I think real stories are way more interesting than just theory. Liam, have you ever actually tried the 1% approach in your life?
Yes and no. Honestly, the first time I heard about this idea, I thought, okay, cool concept, and then completely ignored it. Because I was the kind of person who would say, starting Monday, I'm going to work out every day, eat healthy, read 30 pages, meditate, learn Spanish, and sleep 8 hours, all at the same time.
Oh no! The classic New Year's energy.
Total New Year's energy. And of course, what happened? By Wednesday, I was exhausted, I felt guilty, I gave up everything, and I was back on the couch watching Netflix eating chips.
I feel so seen right now. That is literally my story too. But okay, so when did it actually change for you?
So, about 2 years ago, I decided to just focus on one thing. Just one. I wanted to read more because I felt like I never had time. So instead of saying, I'll read for an hour every night, I said, I'll read just 5 pages before bed. That's it, 5 pages. And some nights I read 5 pages. Some nights I got into it and read 20. But the minimum was 5. No excuses.
And did it stick?
It stuck. I finished 7 books that year. 7! That was more than the previous 5 years combined. And the crazy thing is, it never felt hard. Because 5 pages is nothing. I never had a reason to skip it.
That's so good. Okay, so for me, my 1% story is actually about learning. Because, I studied French for a while and I was doing the whole 2 hours of study every night thing, and it was just too much. I was tired after work, I kept skipping, and then I felt guilty, and then I'd try to do a 4-hour catch-up session and burn out again.
Oh, the guilt cycle. It's the worst.
It's the absolute worst. So I switched to 10 minutes a day. Just 10 on my app, sometimes just reviewing flashcards on the bus. And honestly, my French improved more in 6 months with 10 minutes a day than it had in a whole year of trying to do big sessions.
See, that's the thing. Consistency beats intensity every single time when it comes to skill building.
And I think it's also about removing the psychological barrier. Like when I told myself 2 hours of French tonight, my brain would literally find every excuse not to start. But 10 minutes? I can always do 10 minutes, even on my worst days. And then sometimes those 10 minutes turn into 30 because you're in the flow. But even if they don't, 10 minutes still happened. And 10 minutes every day is still almost 300 hours a year.
300 hours of French? That's basically a part-time job.
Right? It sounds ridiculous when you do the math like that.
Okay, so I want to play devil's advocate here for a second. Because as much as I love this concept, and I do, I think it can also be misused. Like, I've seen people use small steps as a way to avoid real commitment.
Oh, interesting. Say more.
So, imagine someone who wants to lose weight for their health, and their doctor says, you really need to make significant changes. And the person says, oh, don't worry, I'm doing the 1% thing. Today I'm just choosing sparkling water instead of soda. Is that enough? Is that actually going to help them?
Okay, I see what you're saying, but I think you're mixing up two things. The 1% better idea isn't about doing the bare minimum and calling it growth. It's about building a direction. You're not just choosing sparkling water once.
You're choosing it every day until it becomes automatic. And then you add the next small change, and then the next.
So it's more like a system than a single action.
Exactly. It's a system of continuous small improvements, not one small improvement and then stopping.
Okay, fair. But then what about situations that need urgency? Like, say you're learning English because you have a job interview in 3 weeks. You can't just do 10 minutes a day and hope for the best. Sometimes you need to hustle hard.
That's true. And I think in short-term, high-stakes situations, yes, you need to push harder. But even then, consistent daily practice is more effective than cramming everything into 1 or 2 panic sessions.
That's a good point. Like, studying for 2 hours every day for 3 weeks is probably better than studying for 10 hours the day before the interview.
100%. Your brain needs time to process and absorb information. You can't just dump it all in at once and expect it to stick.
Okay, so maybe the debate isn't really 1% versus big leaps. Maybe it's more about what kind of goal are you working toward? For long-term lifestyle changes, 1% wins. For short-term deadlines, you still benefit from consistency, but you might need a higher daily dose.
Yes, that's a really good way to frame it. The principle of consistent improvement applies either way. You're just adjusting the size of the steps based on your timeline.
And I also think there's a mindset difference. Like, the person who believes in small, consistent steps is probably less likely to burn out or give up because they're not putting all the pressure on one single moment.
Right. They're in it for the journey, not just the destination, which sounds cheesy, but it's actually really important for staying motivated long term.
Very cheesy, but also very true.
Okay, so let's talk about some real examples, because I think sometimes this concept sounds great in theory, but people don't know how to connect it to their actual everyday life.
Right. Let's start with something everyone can relate to. Fitness. So you have 2 people. Person A decides on January 1st, I'm going to the gym every day for 2 hours. New year, new me. And person B says, I'm going to do 15 minutes of movement every morning. Just 15 minutes.
Oh, I already know where this is going.
By February, person A has gone to the gym maybe 8 times, feels terrible about themselves, and has completely quit. Person B has done 15 minutes every single morning for 30 days. That's 7.5 hours of movement. And more importantly, it's now a habit.
And then in March, person B bumps it up to 20 minutes because 15 feels easy now. And in April, maybe 30. By the end of the year, they're doing 45 minutes every morning without thinking about it. But it never felt like a big sacrifice.
Exactly. The progress was invisible day to day. But looking back from December, it's enormous. Okay, another example I love, writing. A lot of people want to write, whether it's journaling, creative writing, blogging, whatever. And they always say, I want to write a book someday. But they never start because a book feels huge.
It is huge. Like, psychologically, the word book is just terrifying. And this is so relevant for our listeners who are learning English, because I know a lot of people feel like, oh, my English is not good enough. I need to do intensive study every day for hours. And that pressure actually stops them from doing anything.
Okay, another example I love, writing. A lot of people want to write, whether it's journaling, creative writing, blogging, whatever. And they always say, I want to write a book someday. But they never start because a book feels huge.
is huge. Like, psychologically, the word book is just terrifying.
But what if instead you said, I'll write just one sentence every day? Just one sentence. Anyone can write one sentence, and most days that one sentence turns into a paragraph, and some days that paragraph turns into a page.
And the identity piece is huge there. You start to see yourself as someone who writes every day, not someone who wants to write a book someday. That shift in identity actually changes your behavior over time.
Oh, wow, yes, the identity shift. Like once you say, I am someone who exercises, instead of I'm trying to get fit, your choices start to match that identity automatically.
So the 1% better isn't just about the action. It's about slowly becoming a different version of yourself.
That's honestly really beautiful and a little bit deep for a Tuesday morning.
Right? Sorry, I got philosophical. Let me drink my coffee.
Okay, so we've talked about what it is, why it works, shared some stories, had a little debate. Now let's make it practical. How do you actually start? Like, if someone is listening right now and they're thinking, okay, I want to try this, what do they do?
I'll go first. Tip number 1 from me. Pick one thing. Not 3 things, not 5, 1. What is one area of your life you want to improve? Health, relationships, English, career, creativity? Pick one and only focus on that first.
So important, because the temptation is always to fix everything at once. But that's how you end up fixing nothing.
Exactly. One thing. Commit to it for 30 days. Then after 30 days, maybe add another small habit on top.
My tip number 1, make it stupidly small. Like smaller than you think you need to. If you want to exercise, don't start with 30 minutes. Start with 5. If you want to journal, don't start with a full page. Start with 3 sentences. Make it so easy that you feel almost embarrassed by how easy it is.
Yes, it should feel almost too easy because the point is not the size of the action. The point is building the habit of showing up.
Tip number 2 from me. Attach your new habit to something you already do. This is called habit stacking. Like, after I pour my morning coffee, I will open my English app for 10 minutes. Or after I brush my teeth at night, I will write 3 sentences in my journal. You use an existing habit as an anchor.
Oh, habit stacking is so effective because you're not trying to find a new time slot in your day. You're just adding something small to a routine you already have. My tip number 2, track it. Doesn't have to be fancy. Just put an X on a calendar every day that you do the thing. And then, don't break the chain.
Oh, the don't break the chain method. Jerry Seinfeld supposedly used this to write jokes every day.
Exactly. And there's something really motivating about seeing that chain of X's grow. You don't want to break it. Even on lazy days, you think, I've done this for 17 days in a row. I'm not stopping now.
And tip number 3 from me, and this is maybe the most important one. Forgive yourself when you miss a day, because you will. Life happens. You get sick, you travel, you have a bad week. The key is never miss twice in a row.
Yes, 1 miss is an accident. 2 misses is the start of a new habit, a bad one. So if you miss Monday, you absolutely do not miss Tuesday. Get back on the horse immediately.
And
Don't try to make up for the missed day by doing double. Just go back to your normal small habit. The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to keep going. Progress over perfection. Always.
I love that. Progress over perfection. Write that one down, everyone.
Okay, I can't believe we're already at the end of this episode. This one went by so fast.
It really did. I feel like we could talk about this for another hour, honestly. But let's do a quick recap for everyone. What are the big takeaways from today?
Number 1, 1% better every day adds up to something huge over time. Don't underestimate the power of small, consistent actions.
Number 2, consistency beats intensity. Doing something small every day is almost always more effective than doing something big once in a while.
Number 3, start smaller than you think you need to. Make it easy enough that you have no excuse to skip.
Number 4, use habit stacking. Attach your new habit to something you already do.
And number 5, progress over perfection. Miss a day? Fine. Just don't miss 2.
Beautiful. Okay, and one more thing before we go. This podcast, Daily Cup English, is here every single day to be your 1% for English. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes of listening to natural English conversation every day. That's it. That's your habit.
And if today's episode gave you something useful, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Send it to a friend. Post it in your English group. Leave us a review. It really, truly helps us keep going.
And don't forget to subscribe so you get a new episode every single day. We're here for you, rain or shine, Monday through Sunday.
All right. That's it from us today. I'm Chloe.
I'm Liam.
And this has been Daily Cup English. Go be 1% better today. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
Bye.